Alright, so what's up, guys? Not much. New coils in the mail. Some custom built coils. These are the same thing I was talking about earlier by buying really cheap coils and getting them rebuilt. So now they run, pretty much like my coils on my RSX. These are just half the price because I'm not dumping big bucks in the Civic. And I don't care about the Civic like that. So this is what we did. So I brought some no-name coils and got them rebuilt. Threw the trashy eBay springs away and got some nice custom springs, and same thing for the front. Two, I got these rebuilt. I did upgraded the seals inside and upgraded the fluid inside, and then actually with these I even put the bigger rods in there because the ones with the cheaper shocks, they're really small and narrow, so these will ride a lot better. But other than that though, that's it. I mean, I really just upgraded the shock really and the springs. Everything else, like this piece, the fittings and all that stuff, those are all fine. That's gonna work. I put one together. They don't come assembled when you get them rebuilt, so because obviously they're rebuilding this and I'm not gonna put the shock back together for you. And two, you have to order these. So I went on ahead and got 20K for the back, and I did 14 up front. I think that'll be a pretty good, round ballpark setup. But for people that don't know how to put coilovers together, I figured I already put that one together and then was like, well, why don't I do a video on it real quick. So, rear coils, start off with the shock. Then you're going to take your seals, same thing as like reusing the same cheap seals. I mean, these are cheap. Are they good as like my buddy clubs on my RSX? Probably not. But, I mean, the point is, the spring rate, the shock is good. It should work. So, step one. Drop that on there, then drop that on there, and then that goes up on the shock right here. And then on the bottom, you're going to throw one of these on there, and then you're going to throw a ring on the bottom, and then lastly, one of these, and then that ring will sit on there like that. And then once you push this whole assembly on the shock, you'll screw the bottom part on there. So that's the back. Easy peasy. Same thing for the front. You're gonna throw this shock. You got one of these. That's gonna go on the top. Put that on the bottom. And then this will go on the bottom. Then whoops. That'll go on the bottom. That'll go on the bottom. And then screw that up on to the shock to put everything on there. So I'll go ahead and assemble these, and then I'll get back to you guys. But that's just the easy part, putting the shocks together, and then we'll go ahead and throw them on the car. So. Alright, so coils are put together. Now let's go ahead and install these El Cheapos. Alright guys, so we're out in the garage. We jacked the car up. Got a couple jacks under the car, safety first. But yeah, so other than that, the coilover is, well, the stock shock is actually really easy to remove. You're only going to need to remove that bolt down there. You guys can see that down there. Can we zoom in on that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that bolt down there. There's only 3 bolts you need to remove for the rear. There's one down there, and then there's 2 in the back. And that's it. Yep. That right there. Can you see that? Yep. And then there's one on the back side, but I already took it off. So it's just 3 bolts, and the shock drops right out. You don't need to do anything else. Pretty simple and easy. So let's just go ahead and take these 3 bolts out and pull the stock shock out. Alright, so here is our stock shock versus our coilover. As you guys can see, the coilover is a little bit shorter, even if it's spun all the way down at the bottom. So these coilovers are going to drop your car naturally. Even if you don't want it to drop any, it's going to drop it some. So I guess what we're going to do now is, the thing is, the car was sitting a little higher than I wanted it, so honestly, I might just bottom the coils out and just see where it sits and then just adjust it from there. So let's go ahead and spin this thing on up. Alright, so this is bottomed out. As you can see, it is a lot shorter than the factory one. To be honest with you, I'm just going to throw it on the car just this way and just adjust it back up as need be, just see how it sits. And this is how low the coils go. So we'll see how low they go and then we'll adjust it back up. Alright guys, so got our new coilovers in. I left that bolt down there loose because I know I'm going to have to take that out about, shoot, probably 60 times just to adjust the car up and down. But coilovers are in, put the new bolts in at the top. So, alright, so let's go ahead and do the other side. I'm not going to just, honestly, I'm not going to repeat this thing 100 times. I mean, it's the exact same thing on the other side. It's 3 bolts. So let's go ahead and get the other side done and we'll go ahead and get that on. Alright, so I'm pretty sure this is going to slam the car because we got about 3.5, not really 4, maybe 4 if you push it. We had about 3 fingers of gap on this side with the car not on the ground. But on this side, we only have, well, let's see, we have about a hand and a half. So yeah, we got a lot on this side. So let's go ahead and drop the other side on and we'll see what she's looking like. Alright, so car's on the ground. I rolled it forward and back a couple times, but I mean, we really have about a finger. That's what it did, bottomed out. I mean, that's what you get when you buy race car coils. These are bottomed out. I'll probably still adjust everything and tighten everything back up, but I mean, I can't get 2 fingers is not gonna work. But I mean, it's not bad. Yeah, I'll back up some a little bit in the garage, but you get the idea. Is that focused? Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I might honestly, I wouldn't go lower. To be honest with you, I mean, if this is how I would set the car up, I'll probably get back up there and tighten everything up, adjust the preload and everything. Probably turn the preload up just a hair. The thing you want to do now is kind of maybe sit on the car, see if the suspension squats any. The only reason I'm running really stiff springs in the back because I'm probably going to drag race this thing. So I really don't need to turn up the preload too much unless I want to feel everything hit hard through the car. But I mean, it's not looking too bad in the back. I'm gonna leave it how it is because the thing is, these are brand new too, so they might settle a little bit. So I'm gonna leave them on the car, just let the car sit for a little bit, and maybe they'll settle down in a day or two, and then we'll see. But I guess right now we might start on the front. So yeah, let's go ahead and tighten everything up in the back and work on the front. All right.
Oh yeah, and too, forgot to show you guys the camber settings. This is how I just left it. It's not that bad. I still haven't got the car aligned yet, but I string aligned it in the garage, but I know that's not an alignment. But this is how I did it. I mean, you're obviously going to get more camber when you do drop the car. It's not too bad. I'm going to say it might be about 3 degrees in the back. It's got a hair. Maybe, yeah, I'd say about 3 degrees. It's not bad, but I'll probably pull that out a little bit, but who knows? I don't know. We'll see. We'll get the rest of the car and let it settle and go ahead and work on the front.
Alright guys, so now we got the car jacked up. If you can't jack up your car and remove the wheel, you're on your own. Okay, but now installing the front coilovers, it's pretty easy. It's not as easy as the back. That's why I'm doing these second. But I mean, the biggest thing is there's 3 bolts at the top. I'm going to show you that in a second. But then you just have to remove this bolt, this big bolt right here. It's a 19 on one side and a 22 on the other side. And then you got one down here at the bottom. Then you only have your brake line to remove. This should be a 12 millimeter, and then your ABS line back here, that should be a 10. Other than that, and your tie rod bolt, that's a 19. So you just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts down here, and then the 3 at the top of the coilover. And after you remove that, pretty simple, comes right out. So in removal order, I would leave the 3 on at the top. I would do those last. I probably would start on this first because your tie rod is going to be your hardest one to remove. A lot of people would use like the forks and stuff in here to get this out. I might just tap it with the hammer. I'll see how it comes out. But I'm just going to take that off first. If you can't get that off, you can't do any of this. So yeah, focus on this first. Next, get your ABS line and your brake line off. That's once you get that off, then take these big bolts out last. Because once you take this out, the brake and everything will kind of drop down on you. So. And then after that, just take the 3 off at the top and remove the coilover. Pretty easy. There's 100 other videos on this on YouTube, but if you don't know, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to do it. So let me go grab the new coil and pop this one out. And so here's the stock suspension versus the aftermarket one. As you can see, this is a lot shorter than this one. So I had it spun down so this set flush, but it was like probably like that tall, so I knew that probably would slam the car. So I spun it up a little bit, so it still should drop it maybe an inch or two just off that. But this is kind of just a plug-in. You're just gonna have to try it. Wherever it sits is wherever it sits. You really don't know yet when you're working with custom springs. So, and two, the height of these could change. So, just because they tell you, you know, hey, it came out of the box like this, it might be too low, it might be too high. You're just gonna have to pull it off a couple times and adjust it. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this bad boy on. All right. All right, so new coils are in. You want to make sure you tighten up these two bolts, your ABS line, your brake line and your ABS line, and then your tie rod bolt. Tighten those up, just installation tip. Tighten those up first, so then because we don't know how the height is going to be and how our preload is going to be set. We don't know all that yet, but you can tighten all this stuff up. So then when it comes to adjusting it, you can just put the tire back on, lower the car back down, see how it sits, and then it probably will go, oh man, it sits too low or too high. So then whenever you do it, you just jack the car back up, take the wheels off, take the 3 bolts off at the top, and then you can still spin this body instead of taking all this off each time and spinning this bottom section to adjust the coil up and down. That takes a lot of time out of your schedule here, trying to take this off, 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 then a spin in the body of the coilover when you can just take the 3 off at the top and then just spin the whole body of the coilover up and down. So that'll save you some time there. This is on. We've got this on. Here's, I guess, problem number 1, I guess, of buying cheap body coils and rebuilding them is everything lined up good. I knew it probably would line up good, but the only thing that didn't fit up perfectly was this ABS line. It's supposed to fit on here. It doesn't have a nut welded on the backside, so it'll bolt up like the factory ones would. But then again, I saved $1,000 and I might have to go buy a nut to screw this on. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, these are the cheaper body coils, but they are rebuilt to, really good specs. So, the body part sucks, and, something may not line on it, like the ABS line may not line up, but I have to go to the hardware store and get a 10mm nut. Other than that, they do fit. Everything bolts up fine. They're in there. So, alright guys, let's go ahead and keep it rolling. Alright guys, so we got the other side on, put the wheels back on. The alignment was a little bit off, so I just went ahead and fixed it. But other than that, I got 2 sets of wheels for the RSX, and these are my track rain tires. So I got 2 sets, so I figured let's just try the RPF ones on up front, because I need to run some meteor tires up front on the EP, because I can't run the the 17x7s, the little baby tires up front. I need something at least a little bit wider to hook. These don't fit under the fender, so I'll probably have to do some fender modifications because they poke out like an extra inch or so. But let's go ahead and lower this thing down to see where we're sitting at on the coils. Let's see here. I don't want to hit my fenders. Let's hope. Oh yeah, way too high. Alright, so got way too much gap up here. I got about a little bit more than 2 fingers. Not too much. So we're still gonna need to drop the car down some more. So I'll probably have to just jack it back up and adjust it some more so we can get that gap down a little bit. And then 2, we still got to figure out what we can do with this fender. And then lastly, we still got to drill out the wastegate hole. So we got a little bit of work to do. Let's keep going. Alright guys, so we're gonna try this one more time. I guess with the wheels fully extended, I got about the same amount of gap I had before. So I guess let's go ahead and drop it down again and let's see where we are at. Hopefully it doesn't hit the fender. I dropped it a lot. Ooh. That's not bad. Yeah, I like that. Only problem is that's definitely gonna hit. I need to move this fender out. We need to do a lot of fender work to get this big of a tire underneath here. Let's see. Can you see this right here? Yeah, we are poking a good amount. I need to get the fender out here. So I guess the coils are on. I'm happy with them. I guess that's a pretty good height. I think I got the back a little bit higher than the front, but that's not too bad. I actually like that meaty look of the RPF ones on the EP. The only problem is that is way too much
way too much fender gap right there. So we're gonna need to pull that fender out a lot more. Probably gonna need to roll the fenders, but that'll probably be next time. But I mean, the thing is, the coils are on. They're not tightened up or anything. I still gotta jack the car back up and adjust everything out, but they look pretty good. So, all right, guys, later.